So we just had one of the most bullish catalyst events take place, and I want to go ahead and just share this mini clip from the Twitter Spaces with Elon and his special guest, and then go ahead and explain why this is extremely bullish for Tesla.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is one of the great inflection points in vehicles. It's I think comparable to really the moving production line. So it's a profound change in the world.
So if you haven't heard, GM is going to be partnering up with Tesla to go ahead and have access to Tesla's charging network. Now this comes in almost 2 weeks after we just had Ford mention that they're teaming up with Tesla to have access to their charging stations as well. So we're kind of witnessing this type of if you can't beat them, join them attitude by two of the largest car manufacturers in this entire country. We're having, GM and Ford both announcing partnerships in the recent couple of weeks, saying that they're going to be using Tesla's charging stations for their EV vehicles. Now, this is really bullish for Tesla, and this is obviously simply because Tesla, as I said a multitude of times on this channel before, has a better infrastructure when it comes to the EV landscape. Now, in Q4 of 2022, we saw Tesla bring in about $20 billion in revenue, with $1.7 billion coming in from services and other, which includes paid supercharging. So having other manufacturers in the EV space now have access to, Tesla supercharging stations, well, this means that this is going to go ahead and boost the revenues for Tesla as well in that department, which is obviously bullish for the fundamentals of Tesla. But in addition to this being very bullish for Tesla from just a fundamental aspect, we have to look at this from a different approach of branding and just free promotion, right? Think about someone who is probably going to have a Ford Mach-E, or in the future in 2025, a electric vehicle from GM, and they're pulling up to a Tesla supercharger. What are they going to see? Well, they're going to see the Tesla logo, kind of reminding them that, hey, there's Tesla EVs out there. And then, of course, they're going to be surrounded by a bunch of other Teslas. So it's kind of like not only just bringing in revenue for Tesla, but it's kind of like free advertising for Tesla as well. Now, what also makes this very incredible is that this may actually cause a domino effect, right? Because of course now, if any other EV company, let's say Rivian or any other company, right, wants to go ahead and really be competitive, well, guess what? Now they're not only just competing with Tesla, but they're also competing with GM and Ford at a bigger disadvantage. Why? Because now, GM customers have a larger network of chargers, right? They have, of course, they're going to have their own charging stations with GM, but then access to Tesla, and then vice versa with the Ford, clients or customers. They're going to have access to Ford charging stations, but as well as Tesla charging stations. So if you're another EV company and you're only going to have the infrastructure of your own charging stations, well, you're kind of at a disadvantage where now other companies have a vast, opportunity or a vast supply of chargers, right, for their customers. And so it's kind of leading to a point where we're probably going to see much more companies follow the lead and actually adopt Tesla charging stations as well, and follow along with both Ford and GM. Now, of course, this is really good news for Tesla, but I also just want to share this clip from the CEO of GM, Barra, on why she sees this as a huge opportunity for GM as well.
This collaboration that we're doing nearly doubles the amount of chargers that our GM customers will have access to, and frankly, we think we can save up to $400 million in the original $750 million that we allocated to this, because we've been able to do it faster and more effectively. And we're really looking for ways that we can be more capital efficient as we go forward. So if there's other opportunities to partner, we're going to be very open to them. In addition to this collaboration with Tesla, we also have a very important collaboration with Honda as well. So, we're demonstrating that. We're going to continue to do that, because I think being capital efficient in this environment that will allow us to get the best EVs out to the market is crucial in this transformation.
Now, when we look at the price action for Tesla stock today, we saw that Tesla stock pretty much rallied the entire day, but the news didn't come into the after hours, which is kind of funny, because one of the things I often say is that, there's always someone in the know, right? And so we could probably speculate that there were people that already anticipated that this news was going to come out, which is possibly the reason why we saw Tesla stock rally the whole day, before the news came out. There's always someone in the know. But of course, that's always going to be something that's going to be presented in the stock market. There's nothing that we could really do about that. But as a long-term Tesla investor, this is really great news. And as well as someone who's trading Tesla, this provides a great opportunity, because I want to go ahead and show you guys something that looks very interesting when we look at things from a technical aspect. Now, when we're looking at Tesla from a weekly time frame, one of the things I said a multitude of different times on this channel is that as we rally upwards with Tesla, well, we have a big move coming, potentially as we enter into the $234 per share area. Why? Well, because there is a low amount of volume by price, which means that there's less of a battle between the bid and the ask. And so when there's a buying, pressure coming around this price range, well, that's really going to push the order books upwards, right? And so one of the things we saw in the past is when Tesla stock was trending downwards, right, around that area of $234 per share, because there's a lack of volume relative to price in that area, we saw Tesla stock fall downwards very fast. However, as we're rallying back up in that area, we're possibly going to see Tesla stock rally up very fast, because volume to price is different from your traditional volume by time, right? Volume by price just kind of tells us that, hey, if there's a strong demand towards the upside or the downside, well, it's going to move very rapidly around that area. And so overall, this is extremely bullish news for Tesla. And I also want to remind you guys that we still have more catalyst events lined up for Tesla going into the summer, as we've heard Elon Musk in the past say that, starting for production of the Cybertruck is going to come around sometime in the summer. So this is really just the start of things. Now, in previous videos, I also mentioned that we also want to move cautiously, because going into 2024, well, on a macro level, the economy doesn't look too good. But right now, we're having like a stack of good catalyst events that is really just bullish for Tesla stock overall, and also just good for Tesla in the long term. But I want you guys to let me know what are your thoughts or questions about this in the comment section below. And also, if you guys are not subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing to the channel by hitting the subscribe button right over here. And with that being said, guys, make sure to watch this next video right over here, and I'll see you guys on that next video. Take care.